Hey, Zisha Nation. I'm back. Another house call with Dr. Johnson. Another common question that I get that I'd like to discuss today is many of my current patients, as well as what I've received via Facebook with questions, is, hey doc, how can I age gracefully? Or tell me a little bit more about anti-aging. Well, I'm not a big fan of that term anti-aging. To me, there's no such thing as anti-aging because we can't reverse the aging process. We can't stop it. It's going to happen. I know that's shocking news to many of you, but unfortunately it is what it is. So a better term to use is age management. So we're going to manage the aging process. This is becoming a big concern in mainstream medicine because the baby boomers are very much heading into those wiser years or those golden years that we want to discuss, and that is inevitable. But what I want to talk about is what are things that we can do at a very young age so that as we get closer to the golden years and start heading into our mid-40s and 50s and beyond, that we can stay as active as we want. Because if you interview anybody that is elderly, probably the number one thing that they'll say is most important to them is their health. In fact, I don't know anybody I've ever talked to that is maybe 60 or beyond that has ever said, gee, I wished I would have worked more. Most people are talking about if they had known they were going to live as long as they lived, they would have taken better care of themselves and been more invested in their health. And so what I'd like to discuss today are a few simple tips that we can do to carefully manage the aging process, and things that are very easy that we can do on a daily basis, because as you all know, it takes daily application and an investment in your own health, again, every day, in order for you to really slow the aging process and to manage it more gracefully. So, number one, we ought to discuss a little bit about the theory of aging. So what happens and what causes us to age? There's several different theories out there that exist. The one that's probably the most accepted is the one that involves what we call oxidative stress. Now that's a fancy word. What you really want to kind of envision in your mind is that oxidative stress is very similar to what we call rust. So the term oxidation. So when you walk past a bicycle and you see metal parts that are rusting on that, then it's experienced a chemical process called oxidation. Very similar processes happen inside of our bodies, and so therefore we can accelerate the aging process if our body has a lot of oxidative stress, which many a times is caused by substances that we call free radicals. So free radicals are created within our system when we're exposed to harmful chemicals, when we're exposed to excessive calories. So when you walk out of your local buffet and you've consumed 6,000-7,000 calories in one sitting, you've created a tremendous amount of oxidative stress inside your body, because those empty calories will create those free radicals, which will accelerate the aging process. So when you run into an old friend of yours and they're around the same age, but yet they look 10 to 15 years older, it's through personal choices about their health that they've accelerated the aging process. And the other is true too. If you run into someone that's about your same age and they look 10 to 15 years younger, it's through good choices that they've made in managing their health that they've slowed the aging process in their own lives. And how do you do that? Well, as I have stated, number one, you want to try to minimize the amount of oxidative stress that's possible. Unfortunately, because we live in a toxic world, we're exposed to things that can create this oxidative stress on a daily basis and create free radicals. There's chemicals in personal care products. There's, as we stated, poor choices with our nutrition. If we're eating way too much sugar, if we are not getting adequate amounts of sleep, if we're not staying well hydrated and drinking purified water, then we're exposed to very harmful chemicals that can, again, create these free radicals, which then create oxidative stress and damage our cells, again, on that cellular level, which then will eventually start to damage our tissue, which then makes up our organs. And then, as you can see, there's this cascade of events at the cellular level that will accelerate the aging process. And so oxidative stress can interfere with your hormone productions, and if your hormones deplete, you'll accelerate the aging process. So it's very important to try to maintain what we call homeostasis, which is a Latin term for being balanced within the system. Well-being is another one. Wellness is another term that you might want to use. All of these terms are very important because they're examples of things that we can do. So number one, what can we do to slow the aging process? Well, it comes back to nutrition. That's probably the most important thing. You eat as much real food as you can. You have a diet that's very rich in fresh vegetables and fruits and a very colorful plate, because all of those fresh fruits and vegetables are loaded with antioxidants. Antioxidants will help neutralize these free radicals and reduce the amount of oxidative stress that's within our system. So proper nutrition, real food, maintaining a healthy weight. Very important, because anytime we're carrying excessive weight through the abdominal area, we're creating oxidative stress on a daily basis. Number two, the other thing that we can do is stay properly hydrated by drinking purified water that eliminates many of the chemicals. This is a great way to slow the aging process, because good hydration helps your cells communicate with each other on a daily basis, and that will manage the aging process. You want to get adequate sleep. Make sure you're getting close to 7 hours a night, because that's when your body repairs. And when you get that sleep, then your body can fix things through the night that we did to it during the day, and wake up refreshed, ready for a new day. Reduce the amount of stress in your life. So that's going to be meditation, physical activity. All of these things reduce stress, and it doesn't get rid of stress, but it reduces stress and helps your body cope and deal with that stress, because again, chronic stress will accelerate the aging process. And then the last one that's probably extremely important is proper supplementation. And that's where a company like Zija can help us quite a bit, because they bring to us in a very easy way very nutrient-dense supplements that will again supplement and add to a very nutritious diet, so that we're getting getting these supplements that are very high quality. They're not filled with harmful chemicals, and they're very clean products. And as I mentioned before, loaded with phytonutrients that donate nutrients to our system that help our bodies maintain that homeostasis and wellness. The super mix is a great choice. The plant-based protein powder, a great choice. A lot of the Ripstick products are going to be very helpful as you're staying as active as you can and getting proper nutrients and getting what we call amino acids, because all of this again will help you neutralize those free radicals and slow that aging process. So if you can live better, you'll feel better, and you'll look better. Until next time, this is Dr. Johnson signing out. But before I say that, I can't wait to talk to many of you in the upcoming summit in October, and we can go over all these things again in more detail and truly educate you on how to manage the aging process.